Let's talk about some of the other messaging. Of course, the economy is one message. President Trump will try to talk about the wins, the one big beautiful bill. When it comes to bigger tax refunds, we saw the U.S. confidence, the number was higher today, selling sort of his successes amid sort of the backdrop there of immigration as well and law and order. What do you think the most important message is that he can deliver right now with the looming midterms months away? And you know where Democrats are trying to, of course, find some of the weaker points to attack the right.
Right. The cost of living is huge on voters' minds right now. And the president had 2 quarters last year where GDP grew more than 4%. Wages were up by 1% or higher. We're seeing massive growth, manufacturing coming back to states like South Carolina. That is a major win for the president. Inflation is getting under control. He's doing all of those things. Also, he's keeping our communities safer and law and order and deporting the worst of the worst, the rapists, the pedophiles, the murderers. He's doing that. So he has a lot to count on and that we can hear about tonight in all of his successes in his first year.
So tariffs shot down by the Supreme Court, at least the one of the ways he can use them, the emergency ones. He'll be looking at the Supreme Court justices tonight as they are there. But there's also a role Congress perhaps can play with extending them. We know that FedEx is suing the United States government. They want their money back. But Speaker Johnson doesn't think they'll be able to find somewhat of a coalition to extend them. The most recent ones expire in less than 150 days. I guess, Congresswoman Mace, where I'm going is, will you support codifying some of the tariffs in Congress with President Trump to extend them, to allow him to use what he believes is one of the most important levers of his administration, not just to bring trillions of dollars here, but to strengthen our national security around the globe?
I have always supported President Trump's agenda, and it is the responsibility of Congress to implement his agenda. I think one of the important things is that we learned about Section 122, 302, and 232 and what the president's powers are with regards to tariffs, and he can utilize those now. But it will be up to Congress to fulfill his agenda, and there's a lot more to it, just not tariffs. There's more that we can do to codify every single executive order in his mission in his second term.
You know, JP Morgan closed more than 50 Trump-related accounts in 2021. They said over legal and regulatory risk after January 6. But it did maintain a years-long banking relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, reportedly processing more than $1 billion in transactions. When you talk about the accountability for victims, how much does following the money matter, as well as there are a lot of questions about the powerful who are still out there? And we've seen some arrests in the UK, but obviously the high-profile arrests have not really come to fruition here, Congressman Mace.
Right. The United States is behind when it comes to any sex trafficking crimes, financial crimes, and other crimes that may have involved Jeffrey Epstein. I think JP Morgan has a lot of explaining to do. They did this to the president of the United States, and they can do it to him. They can do it to anybody. And yet they were doing business with a convicted pedophile. I mean, you just have to let that sink in and see how sick and twisted some on the left are regarding this. I would like to see us prosecute people. I want to see people go to jail. And the Epstein saga doesn't die down until people are in prison, until they are indicted, until we do like the UK is doing and hold those accountable, regardless of their title, regardless of who they are, how much money they have. We have to have some accountability in this country.
You've called on the CIA to turn over documents. Do you think you'll be successful in that request?
I doubt it. I expect to get an answer that's probably classified, that they can't tell us. I've seen some FOIA documents in the past where Epstein and his attorneys tried to get information out of the CIA, and basically they told them that answer is classified. So we'll see what they come back with. I've also written the Southern District of New York, because the documents they sent to the DOJ specifically as it relates to the named co-conspirators, those names were still redacted. Again, this is a cover-up.